How's it going, Rogues Gallery, and welcome to another Flesh and Blood video here on Red Zone Rogue. Today, it's Art Appreciation Day, Monarch Edition. We're going to take a look at all of the high-res Monarch artwork that was recently released. We're going to do a little bit of speculation, as well as some, looking for, Easter eggs and that kind of stuff, because I found at least one Easter egg. And I think it's just really, really cool. Before we get started, if you like the video, please consider subscribing to the channel, leaving a like or commenting down below. Or if you're looking to pick up Flesh and Blood product, I do have several affiliate links in the description down below. You know, Channel Fireball, Red Riot Games, and Fab Foundry, all excellent folk. Channel Fireball still has Monarch Unlimited pre-orders at $79 available. Use that affiliate link or use the code ROGUE at checkout. It helps support me. Or if you'd like to support me directly, check out my Patreon. But without further ado, let's get started. We're going to start looking at some excellent artwork today. And this is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. And you're going to see me drag some windows around and then shrink me down because I don't matter in this video. What matters is this beautiful, beautiful artwork. So this is not the first one we're going to look at today. The first one we're going to look at today is, well, we're not going to look at this one either. Okay, I actually lied. We are going to look at this one first. This one actually is my favorite artwork in the set so far. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it so much. It's done by Daria Klebnikova, and she is one of the absolute best Flesh and Blood artists. I mean, they're all absolutely fantastic, and I think Flesh and Blood art is highly underrated. There's some fantastic artists out there working on this game, and they're not artists that you typically see in games like Magic the Gathering, and I really like that they're, you know, getting a shot here and being highlighted because I think they're actually excellent and definitely worth, you know, the time and the consideration because they're fantastic. So, like I said, this is by Daria Klebnikova. She also did Sunkiss, Moonwish, and several other cards. It's absolutely awesome. Here we have an Eclipse, and this Eclipse really reminds me of two things. It reminds me of Berserk, and it also reminds me of things that reference Berserk, like Dark Souls. You know, it kind of looks like the dark sign and that kind of stuff, but it totally reminds me of Berserk. And if you look very closely, this Eclipse is actually just a giant mass of like skeletons. It's so cool. I love this. I love the celestial theme. I love everything about it. I mean, that's why the background here is this art, because it's so cool. I can't gush enough about this. I would love a print. I would love a signed print. Legend Story Studios was awesome enough to send me a playmat of this, and I'm gonna cherish that playmat forever. So yeah, I can't gush enough about this. This art is absolutely stunning and beautiful. You can talk about the colors and how the colors really complement each other and contrast with the bright oranges and reds with the dark purples. It's so good. And just so you know, by the way, for this series, and we're going to do this for every single set, personally, I am not an art critic, though I have taken art classes in college, so I know a little bit about art, but you know, we're just going to talk about what things I like and things look cool, and maybe we'll talk a little bit about like art theory and that kind of stuff, but I'm not super knowledgeable, though I have written a paper on Van Gogh before. Anyway, I digress. The next piece of artwork is this one here. This is Doomsday, and the artist for this particular piece is, and I apologize if I get the name wrong or if I mispronounce it, it's Soyamai, and it's also really good. I know several people who this art is their favorite art, and I can definitely see why. It's just awesome. It is so metal. It is metal as hell, like literally. We got all these skulls, this gore and viscera upon this throne. Immediately evokes images of like Warhammer and the Blood God. We have these giant, you know, massive images in the background, like these hulking figures in the background, and I think that's just super cool. We also have these winged figures, demons overhead with these clouds parting. I just noticed this too. There's some bodies in here that look like they're still moving. Very interesting. And then, you know, we got this hand over here as well. This very red and like fleshy tone. Is a fantastic and very disgusting piece. This looks like it could be the artwork for a death metal band. Like, you could see like this being the art for like Cannibal Corpse or Slayer or something like that. It is so metal. This is like super metal. It's just fantastic. Yeah, not much else to say. This is also the I should have mentioned this before, but this card, we've already known what this card does and what it is. This is a legendary card. This is Doomsday. And the previous card, this one right here, this is the art for Eclipse, another legendary card. Both absolutely beautiful. They are definitely deserving of the legendary status here, but yeah, blood for the blood god for sure. This next piece is very, very interesting, actually. This next piece reminds me heavily of, and by the way, this is by Alexis Suzani. The art on here heavily reminds me of the Seismic Surge. And is the art on here all the way? Hold on, let's extend this a little bit. There we go. I fiddled with the regions a little bit. Now we have the full art on here. There's a little bit getting cut off. But yeah, this reminds me of the Seismic Surge token from Flesh and Blood. If I was a betting man, and this is before we've seen the whole set and the whole spoilers, I would guess this is something to do with like a Guardian class. Like maybe a light Guardian class. This so much reminds me of the Seismic Surge token. But I mean, other than that, let's take another look here. We have like these shadowy creatures crawling out from the earth with this bright light, like just emanating from the earth. We also have some like tendrils and some other stuff coming from the light. So maybe it's not entirely, you know, a light card. It looks like it's almost corrupted just a little bit. And the art itself is really, really sweet. We have this vast landscape. It's very, very open and, well, I mean, vast, right? Vast is the right word for this. And I love the little eyes just peeking up from the cracks on the left side. To me, this looks like a Seismic Surge thing, though. I can't get past that. I can't get past that this looks like a Seismic Surge token. Or some sort of tectonic shift, tectonic rupture. It's really cool, though. I dig this quite a bit. And this would look awesome in foil, man. This would look so cool in foil. Yeah, let's go to the next card. This one, holy crap. Yeah, this one, once again, heavily evokes images from Berserk, from the Eclipse, as well as Dark Souls. But this is such a really, really cool image. This one, I mean, in my opinion, it looks so nice because it's abstract, but also, I don't know, it can't be literal, can it? It has to be abstract. Like we have this eclipse with like substance, you know, lava, magma coming down from this eclipse. Is this gonna be the token card for Eclipse? I don't know, man. You can definitely draw those comparisons. So we can like, here, I will hide this. You can see Eclipse here, and then you can see the circle on this card. We don't even know what the art is called. By the way, the artist for this piece is Gregory Numkovics. I hope I said that right, but yeah, awesome piece. Really, really cool piece. It's just, I'm trying to put this right. It's not whimsical, but it's very fantastical. But it's fantastical in a very stylized way. It's very flat, but I think it's like intentionally flat. It's very otherworldly. Let's put it that way. It's very otherworldly. It does a very good job at conveying like this sense of wonder and like horror. It's very Lovecraftian in that sense. And like once again, the imagery. That's another thing. The colors and the imagery are really close to. Once again, let's show this. Look at that. We got the purples and the oranges. Same here. Same kind of like contrast. Very interesting. It's cool. It's super cool. I cannot wait to see what this card is. My bet would be it's a token for the legendary card. The next one we're going to talk about is this one. This one's awesome. This is like a battlefield picture, but the humans are losing. The humans are dead, or gonna die at least. I can't remember the name of this card exactly, but it's super cool. The artist for this artwork is Marco Gonzalez, and this one it's very nice. It's kind of got like this not quite watercolory design, but maybe a little bit. It's very painterly, which is, I mean, it can be said of the last one as well. But it's just a very interesting and dark design. There's the same kind of color scheme going on here too, but like the purples and the oranges. We have these dudes here. This is obviously like, this is a bad time, right? This is like showing that, you know, the humans are losing. This is not. This is these guys are not having a good time. All right, let's go to the next one. Next one we have is, oh yeah, this one. This is done also by Marco Gonzalez. Same kind of like painterly, almost like watercolor style. You can see it very much in like the candle over here. This one is super interesting. I'm not sure what to take of this. If this is a like a Solana soldier being tempted or tormented by these ghouls and spirits. Like, he's also taking the time to look into the mirror. It's a cool picture. Like, doing like a POV shots, super cool. His hand, it looks like it's changing, right? It looks like the life is either being sucked out or he's being transformed. I mean, his eyes and mouth are obviously bleeding. Maybe he's getting turned into one of these guys. That's very interesting. Maybe they're converting him. Maybe they're not just killing him. Because, I mean, if they were going to kill him, they could just kill him. We've seen gory artwork in Flesh and Blood, and dudes just getting ripped apart and stuff. So maybe there's something else going on here. Maybe it is some sort of like transmutation, or like a transformation, or you know, something like that. Indoctrination. Yeah, very interesting card. This reminds me of like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This is a very like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of thing. Even though that's not like what's going on here, that's kind of what I'm seeing. That's what the images that I invoke. It also reminds me of like vampires for some reason. You know how vampires looking in the mirrors and stuff, who can't see themselves in the mirror. I don't know why, because that doesn't make sense, but that's the way my weird brain thinks. The next one, oh yeah, this one is beautiful. This one is so awesome. We're gonna, well, that's a mighty zoom. We're gonna zoom in a little bit more on this one because it is so cool. The blood here is crazy. And look at this awesome sword. Look at this just awesome, just massive, absolutely massive sword. Who did the art here? Let's see. The art is Bima with pencil. Bima with pencil. They definitely got pencil. Let's zoom back out here and look at this as a whole. This is so cool. I mean, there's a tree of blood bursting out of this dude's back. This is also very metal. And it seems to be like in a cathedral or monastery, judging by this guy's armor. He's probably in Solana. And it's such a fantastical picture. It's hard to guess what's going on here, right? I mean, there's the literal, right? There's a big bloody tree coming out of him. But why? Like, why is this big bloody tree coming out of this dude? And like why a tree, and why not just kill him? I don't know. It's very cool. You see like these blood leaves. The tree itself is bleeding. The art is very awesome. It's very striking because the reds are in heavy contrast to like the very dark background and the very muted background. Yeah, and I mean, the dude is obviously just sitting there powerless. His giant sword, his giant like chained up sword doesn't matter at all. I'm very curious to see what kind of card this is going to be on, because this is a really cool one. This is a really cool card, a really cool artwork at least. The next one, oh, this is one of my favorite ones. This is absolutely one of my favorite ones. So there's a lot of speculation on this one. People think like this is Dorinthia. I don't think this is Dorinthia because of the sword, right? Dorinthia doesn't use a sword like that. The Dawn Blade, that's not the sword. And by the way, this is by Ramza. Here, we're gonna zoom in on the name. Ramza Ardi Putra. That's me trying to sound out the name, but in any case, fantastic art. One of my favorite arts as well. I love the runes on here. Very rune blade-esque kind of like attack. Could also be like an indoctrination thing, but it looks like she's being attacked, like more so than the other one. Like look at her face. Look at the skin on her face. It looks like it's being shredded. It looks like her head is being like almost torn in half, because like you can see the light emanating from her mouth. And it's like coming through her cheeks, which is being shredded. Like, this doesn't look like an indoctrination to me. This looks like an attack. Like, and it looks so brutal. It's so awesome. And her armor is very interesting. It's a purple. This kind of like purple and gold colored armor. I don't know. I really like it. And yeah, not much else to say. Themes. I really like the cool coloring here. It kind of makes like the I don't know, like the violence on her face stand out a lot more, because everything is like this cool color pattern except her face, and then the redness of the blood, and like the blonde hair, auburn hair, and yeah, this is a really cool piece. This reminds me of Death Knights in World of Warcraft, like for sure. These runes and the coloring and the art. This looks like Icecrown Citadel to me, but it's fantastic. I love this piece. It's gonna look amazing in foil. Next one we have, oh yeah, this one. Okay, so this is one that I found like a little Easter egg on. So this one's really cool, right? This is another one showing that like the dark is winning. The shadow is winning. Humans are falling. This guy who's already beaten, he's tired, he can't even stand up, he's gripping his side, bleeding out, you know, holding onto his sword for dear life, and behind him it's the end, man. The shadows creeping in. Even though he's beaten and bloodied and down, he has no way out. It's a very cool and ominous picture. But in the background, if you look on the over here, you know, we'll zoom in on it too. Look at this. That's a sigil of Solace. That's really cool. So we're definitely on the fields near Solana. Like that's where this is happening. A little sigil of Solace in the background. Very, very cool. And by the way, artist Vito Vivodka. Yep, Vito Vivodka. Yep. Like I said, a lot of amazing artists that you don't see the names of, you know, very often, which is it's sweet, dude. I love seeing all of the variation here in the art. Next up we have, oh, this one's really cool. This one is, we're going to start looking at some of the light stuff here. This looks like a preacher or something like that, almost giving a sermon to all these people in a grand cathedral. It could also be less religious, soul oriented, and more of like a public declaration or announcement from like a figurehead, like a, not a chamberlain, but like you know, steward or something like that. And once again, very, very painterly art here. Looks very cool. You can see like the brush strokes. It's still quite dark. Like, even though there's light here, like there's light emanating from behind this figure. Is this a mirror? Interesting. Because I mean, there's definitely look like there's a mirrored image here. Very interesting. But at the same time, there's like this darkness creeping around them. It's like it's a light place, but there's still a lot of dark here. It looks like the light is like struggling to stay here. By the way, the artist, Riza Afshar. Awesome. Really, really cool. Once again, I really like the painterly design here. Like, very reminiscent of, maybe like, gonna put on my art hat. I'm gonna say like some of the Spanish painters, maybe like Goya, though it's not as brutal as some of Goya's stuff. But I don't know. It's super cool. I really dig this one. Yeah. Next up we have, okay, this is one of my favorite pieces. One of my favorite artists in Flesh and Blood. This is Samyang. Like, hands down, I know exactly who did this one. Also, he seems to be a really nice dude. I have minimal like interaction with him, but I've, you know, had a little bit of interaction with him on Facebook and Twitter. He's one of the artists that I really want to get some like prints from and, you know, cards signed from, because I think his art is fantastic. He drew like Dash, by the way, Dash and Crack Bobble and a bunch of other stuff. Head Jab, like the original like cool comic book Head Jab style. This picture is beautiful. This is absolutely gorgeous. Very radiant. This is definitely like Samyang's style. He has like, once again, like this kind of like almost like painterly style, though I think he might do digital, but in any case, it's awesome looking, absolutely fantastic looking. I'm very curious to see what this card is, like, to be honest. This looks to me like it could be like a fabled card. Like that's how amazing this card looks. Like, maybe it's her crown, maybe it's like the crown of soul, or something like that. It's so cool. I'm calling it now, by the way. Crown of Soul, Crown of Solana, Crown of Light. This looks beautiful. This looks to me like either an equipment or like a fabled card. Absolutely fantastic. The next one we have, oh yeah, this one, it's like an exodus of people. So this one I do kind of need to zoom in on a little bit more because it's a big piece, right? So here we have, it's by Riza again, Riza Afshar. And let's see if we can like just zoom in just a smidge here. Okay, I think I've made it look much better. Future videos in this series are going to be a little bit more tuned because this is my first one and I'm kind of like fiddling around with the programs that I got here. Anyway, this one almost confirms one of my biggest like predictions for Monarch. We'll see how the set turns out, but one of my biggest predictions is has to do with the lore, and it is that the heroes will lose. Like the good guys will lose, Solana will fall, the light will fade, and darkness and shadow will win and gain the upper hand, at least for now. And this definitely looks like Solana's fallen. Like look in the background, you can see like rubble, smoke rising. Obviously we have like these evacuees, these refugees, and they're just, you know, hauling out of there like in droves. Like look at this, it's very, very large. Once again, like this very, very cool like painterly style. Like the faces aren't even like super detailed, but I mean that's kind of like the style, right? Yeah, I like this card quite a bit. And you know, here's like the majestic city of Solana. We've got some scale birds for scale, but Solana is not a bright city anymore. Solana has darkened. Next one, oh yeah, this one's pretty cool too. This one is I love this kid, by the way. This kid with like this pot on his head and this like wooden sword. This is militia, man. This is militia. This the artist is Kizari Peralta. Kizari Peralta. In any case, very cool. You know, obviously it's a mob, right? It's a mob from Solana, probably getting some of the neighboring cities to come in and help fight back. I don't know how well that's gonna help because we've seen some of the other like shadow artwork and things look pretty rough. Things look pretty rough from that. Yeah, I love how they have like wood. There's this old dude with a cane, and he's got like these planks on him and like this what do you call this? I forget what this is called. It's not a kunai, or I can't remember the right word, but he's got this tool that's used for farming, right? Sickle, this kind of like sickle thing. You know, some people have like brooms and stuff. Good luck, man. I wish them luck because they got a lot ahead of them. They got a lot of like fighting ahead of them. This seems like a precursor to some of the gory stuff we saw earlier. Next up we have this dwarf guy. Okay, there's a lot of people thinking this dwarf dude is going to be one of the new heroes. He definitely could be. I can definitely see that. Like a dwarf like guardian, like a light guardian. He doesn't seem super light, but I mean, I love to see these other races in Flesh and Blood. I think that's awesome. So like we got dwarves here. Maybe there's room for like elves and other like fantasy races. I mean, we've seen Reinhardt. Reinhardt totally looks like an orc. I don't know if there's anywhere in the lore that says that he's an orc, but like this dwarf guy, so many people are gonna love this character if he's a character. And the art, by the way, we gotta say, gotta give due. Alif Rustiatama. Yep, I'm gonna go with that. I apologize. I greatly apologize. But yeah, this art is fantastic. He's got an axe. We haven't seen any axe weapons yet in Flesh and Blood, so if he is a hero, then we definitely could be seeing like an axe weapon coming, which is super cool. And if he is a guardian and he is using an axe, that means we might see a guardian axe weapon, which is cool. And yeah, I mean, like, he also looks like he's in the shadow. We got this character in the forefront, character in the back, and he's just kind of standing in his own like beacon of light. He definitely looks like it's from Mysteria too. Or Aria. The place that Bravo's from, right? I always mix up Mysteria and Aria. One of them is the ninja place. One of them's like the place with Bravo, and that kind of stuff. Anyway, still looks super cool. People are gonna love this character. This artwork, this also seems like a precursor of things to come. He's just like telling people to suit up. It's time to fight. By the way, I also like this dude's like codpiece. That metal codpiece. We have this is the name of the artist, Pieo. Hopefully I said that right. I love how these guys are like, they're just putting on their armor, man. This guy's like, dude, hurry the hell up. And these guys are like still putting on their boots. Like this guy's like putting on his, yeah, they're just putting on their boots. And it looks like it's going down in the background, man. Things are going down. Look at that. Look at the look on his face, man. That is the look of sheer panic and terror. And I don't doubt him, man. Next up, we have a very heroic and epic picture. This is something cool. So we see these large figures. So this is one I want to talk about quite a bit. So we see these very large figures in the background. And I'm pretty sure these are the same figures that we saw on this art, right? So we have these massive figures kind of in the background here. And let's see if we can get back to the right one. That was pretty close. That was a pretty good guess. And yeah, you can see them here in a little bit better detail. We have some like in the background, some of them a little bit more in the foreground, and we have these figures standing valiantly. This character with like silver hair. I can't help but wonder if this character is going to be one of the new heroes. This looks like a main character to me. Silver hair. Look at their like glowing sword. This looks like a main character. Can't tell like anything else about them other than the fact that they have like these almost like World of Warcraft pauldrons. They remind me of like the Grand Marshal pauldrons for the Alliance, which is it's a cool thing. I really like them. I like the over exaggerated style. We also have like these almost Valkyrie like wings coming out of their helmets. This looks like an elite squad to me. Yeah, this looks like an elite squad. I mean, we saw like the last couple pictures. These are just like regular dudes, right? They're foot soldiers. These are like the militia. These are the regular dudes. These are the elite soldiers of Solana. And you can tell that this Solana because they have the flags here. Yeah, so this is sweet. This is like a rally of the forces kind of deal. You know, rally of the light. They're going in. They're surveying the battlefield before going in. And all this stuff down here, that's this guy. This guy is like down here. He's like down here. By the way, artist is Fu Tu. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right either. Once again, I apologize. But awesome, really cool artwork. Very curious to see who this character is. They look like main character material, and I like white, like silver-haired characters quite a bit. Next up, oh, I love this one too. This one, people were saying that other one looked like Dorinthia. This looks like Dorinthia to me, even though the sword is not Dorinthia's sword. That does not look like the Dawn Blade. This is more like Dorinthia-like. By the way, artist here, Narendra Biadi. Awesome looking artwork. This is another one of my favorite artworks that we've seen. I love how the light is just burning these like demons away. This is like the opposite of some of the other artwork. We see like the dark purples, and then there was like a little bit of like oranges and yellows. Here's like the oranges and yellows are front center, and they're burning away this dark and the purple. Like, it's super cool. I'm very curious to see what this card is too. This card looks like a very special card. Yeah, I mean, it just looks like, surge of light, strength of soul kind of thing. And this guy right here, this like right behind her, there's like this larger demon that doesn't have a head. We've seen that guy in some of the Shadow Brute artwork. So, interesting. I wonder if we're gonna see some of these other dudes and some of the other artwork. We have a couple more pictures, or a couple more paintings rather. This one is really cool looking. We're gonna zoom in here on this one as well. This is like, we saw the last one, right? We saw this, fighting back the darkness. This is like another like an elite soldier fighting. And here we have like the pinnacle of the light, right? No longer an elite soldier or a human. We have like an archon of the light. And it's really cool, dude. I mean, look at the wings, multiple wings. It's like a seraphim. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of wings. 4 sets of wings. Interesting. And it looks like their clothing or robes or something extend pretty far down. And these demons, these bad dudes are not having a good time. They're surrounding this character, and like this character is like calm. Like this character is like, this does not concern them. Like this is not a challenge. So whatever character this is very powerful. perhaps soul, perhaps like a, you know, a high-ranking angel or angelic being, like I said, like an archon or a seraphim or something. And just like we'll zoom in on here. Wait a minute. They're holding Solana. Dude, this is soul. This is like 100% soul. They're literally holding the city of Solana. Yeah. Who did the art, by the way? This art is brilliant. Simon Wong, dude. Simon, this art is awesome. I mean, all this art is awesome, but like look at that, beautiful. I mean, that's the point, right? Radiant. And yeah, they're literally holding the city of Solana. This is soul, man. Soul's vengeance, soul's wrath, soul's fury. Yeah, light of soul. Very cool. And then the final artwork here is a callback to Enlightened Strike, or maybe not. Maybe this is more of a Zeus figure. And if Enlightened Strike's like the Zeus's son, I don't know who's Zeus's son. He probably had like a ton of sons. Not probably. He definitely had a ton of sons. This looks like the figure from Enlightened Strike. And this is like a very large deity figure. We saw those large demons in the background of some of those other pieces. You know, let's see if we can find it again. Yeah, so we saw the large demons in the background. Well, we have the opposite here. A large Titan, radiant figure. And he's just gripping this lightning from the sky. Like, it's not even like... He's not even like just holding a lightning bolt. It's like he's pulling it directly from the heavens, and he's just like laying waste. So it looks like he's smashing a lot of like human settlements. Maybe this is what happens after. This looks like Solana, by the way. This is definitely Solana. Like, look at the structures of the buildings. Like the buildings here. By the way, artist. This is like a Alexander Mokov. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but or her name, their name. But Alexander Mokov, I'm pretty sure, has done multiple pieces of Flesh and Blood artwork, and they're all fantastic. And once again, this is like this radiant figure is, you know, bursting through the darkness from the background and just laying waste, absolutely laying waste. So maybe this is what happens after the bad guys take Solana. A radiant being like this just shows up, and he's like, enough is enough. I'm just gonna wipe you all out, including the city, apparently, including the city. Yeah, this is a really cool piece of artwork. This is gonna be a cool playmat, and this is gonna be a cool foil. We already know what this card does, and I think it's gonna be one of the best cards in the set. So this is gonna be one of the most probably well-remembered art pieces from this set. But personally, I love this one. This is still my favorite. The Daria Klebnikova artwork. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, with that, we're gonna put a stop to looking at the art for today. We're gonna go back and look at arts in previous sets. So we're gonna look at the arts in Arcane Rising and Welcome to Wraith and Crucible of War, and we're gonna kind of do the same kind of thing. Let me know if you like this kind of video. I don't know how well it's gonna do. I have a feeling it's not gonna do as well as some of the other stuff, but I had a lot of fun, and I think the artwork is super underrated and deserves to be talked about. And I wanted to do an appreciation series before I did a series on like what artists I would like to see in Flesh and Blood, because I think the Flesh and Blood artists are already fantastic. So yeah, we're gonna do like a series later talking about what artists I would love to see in Flesh and Blood. But like I said, I think it's worth highlighting who is already there because they're great. And you can see this. I mean, the art is fantastic. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. If you like the video, then like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. This is kind of like an experiment for me, so we'll see how well this goes. And regardless of what you do, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time for some more card game content. See you later, everyone.